Welcome to Fight the Good Fight Club, the podcast about the relentless pursuit of a life and relationships filled with purpose, love, joy, and peace. If you're ready to get real and dig deep, then you're ready for Fight the Good Fight Club.
Hi, everyone, and welcome. I'm Cynthia.
And I'm Marcel.
And we have a very, very big, giant, fabulous, pretty mess to today's episode. You know, I say this to you because it almost feels like every episode we're going through stuff, but right, we're evolving, man. We're fighting the good fight all the time.
And there's always a good fight to fight. Never a shortage of fights, right?
Yeah.
Especially during the holidays and New Year.
So as we're recording this episode, we're during the holidays, and sure enough, it's going to give us. We weren't looking for it, but it found us lots of content for the episode. And this is a very, very special episode because our mess has come on multiple levels that is going to bring a lot of really interesting content to today's episode.
Absolutely. And so the whole backdrop of this whole Fight the Good Fight Club is trying to find the peace within. And how do you do it? You still your mind and free your spirit. And it's really hard to do that when you have all kinds of drama around you. But it's that very drama that enables you to find the peace. Because if you're just at peace and there's never drama, then what is peace? So here
we wouldn't appreciate the peace as much, right?
That's right. So on a physical plane, if you're a spiritual being, you realize, oh, this is what I'm not. This is what I am. Oh, right. This is drama. I don't want that. I want the peace. Oh, this is what I want. So inevitably, whatever we're looking for in this life, ultimately, I think it comes down to peace.
Exactly.
And so, but during that process, it's not whether or not you have peace. You have it. It's we always lose it. And how do we get it back? And how do we lose it? This mess, this drama Cynthia was just talking about.
And Marcel and I were talking, and it's really funny because actually talking about all the mess created more mess between us. Oh my gosh. But on today's episode, we're actually going to unpack some of that for you, because what we realized in preparing for this episode is that families get together during the holidays or special occasions, weddings, funerals, birthdays, anniversaries, big gatherings, family reunions. There's all kinds of opportunities, joyful times that can uncover all of the yuck that can come with it, right? So we thought, what a great during what happened with us, we discovered that sometimes you need to pull on not just one lesson, but multiple lessons to sort of help bring us back to peace, or to sort of practice the lessons, right?
Correct. So, a lot of the lessons we've done are really just building blocks and tools and skills to deal with whatever drama comes our way. And you know what? For drama's sake and in drama's defense, some people thrive on it and don't even know it and actually love it, and they're depressed without it. So this whole podcast series is really about the people who are trying to live and be happy in spite of the drama in their lives. And even if you can't escape the drama for whatever reasons, how to observe it, but don't let it enter you. And if it's in you, how to get it out, but still be around it without it affecting you. It's almost like if you're a smoker and you quit smoking, but yet you don't want to get rid of your friends who continue to smoke. How do you not smoke while they're smoking?
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah. And also sometimes we can be a part of creating that drama, because we kind of created a little bit of drama between us.
Yep.
But how to recognize that and how to be gentle with ourselves. I know I say that a lot, and shorten that amount of time between the peace and the drama.
Correct.
Kind of towards the end, I had mentioned to Marcel, I said, normally I would be in my past, right? In my past life, I would be writing emails and I wouldn't send them, but I'd write it, rewrite it, call my friends, talk to them about it. Am I right? This is one thing that I used to do all the time, and I didn't realize that it perpetuated the drama. I realize it now. I would question, am I right to be hurt? Am I right? To be upset? And what I realize is that perpetuates the drama. It keeps it going. And in that, am I right? What I'm doing is that I'm looking for proof that I am right.
That's right.
And I am now gathering all of this ammunition. The martyr, right? I'm being the martyr. Look at what they're doing to me. Look at it. Look at how they do this to me. And what I realize is that I kind of really don't need that, because I know who I am. I know where I am, and so yeah. So I'm jumping way ahead, but what I'm saying is that to realize the role that we are playing in the noise, in the drama, in the stuff that's going on. Are we looking for peace? Are we taking away from the peace? Are we letting our emotions take over? Do we need to sit in our emotions?
As you're speaking, I'm sitting here thinking about this whole idea of pulling upon a skill set or tool set to deal with drama. And your question was, are we creating more ourselves and feeding into it? And that's the whole idea, being aware of what's going on. And before you know it, if you lose your awareness, it can be in you, and then you add to it, and you actually exponentially grow it as well yourself, and then you're caught up in it, you don't realize it. So how do you do that? So when we were talking, the few instances that came up just the past few days, the tool sets I use were very simple. I could see peace instead of this. I'm never upset for the reason I think. Those are the two that always come to my mind when I realize I don't feel right inside about something going on. So at any rate, that's when you kind of become more aware and are able to step back and look at things more objectively.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, and on my side, definitely, and you mentioned it a couple of times, I'm not angry for the reason I think I am.
Right.
That's a good one as well.
Yeah. And so what's the reason why I'm angry here? Well, I have forgiven this person, but it's very difficult to be around them when they're continually doing the same thing I've forgiven them for.
Exactly.
So you're continually having to forgive.
Yeah.
And I can't really think of a different quote, but it has been said by probably one of the great spiritualists, transcendentalists. How many times do you forgive? 70 times 7. Well, that's 490 times. So what does that mean?
I thought that
that's
number would be higher. That's another way of saying
it's a process, a continual process.
Yeah.
It's like we had talked about when you realize who someone is and they irritate you.
Yeah.
So you have an option. You can try to change them.
Yeah.
Which is the equivalent of trying to teach a pig to fly.
Yeah.
Because that does two things. Mm-hmm. It's impossible, and it irritates the hell out of the pig.
Yeah.
And it's a futile. But really, you can change them, or you can change your attitude about them.
Yeah.
And realize, who are you to change anybody? Why don't you look at changing yourself, which is your attitude and how you look at them. So one day you realize that you're angry, and you think, would I be angry because water is wet? And we had mentioned this before.
Yeah,
it's the nature of water.
Yeah.
Accept that water is wet. Someone, whoever they are, that's irritating, accept that that's who they are.
Yeah.
And go, hey, I don't have the power to change them. Certainly, when you want to change someone else, you need to look in the mirror, because that's who you need to change.
Absolutely.
And you can change your attitude.
Exactly.
And the other thing is, hey, if you can't even do that, but it's really affecting you, then there's a thing called toxicity. Maybe they're just toxic and it's just not good for you.
Yeah.
You can't handle it. Mm-hmm. Walk away and just cut off the relationship. Yeah. And there's certainly nothing wrong with that either.
We've definitely done episodes on toxicity and that good stuff. Now, one of the things that I'd like to do before we go to break is I'd like to give some context to let's put some nouns and verbs down so that our listeners can catch up with us. I mean, we've definitely talked in really general terms, but I think that it would be really helpful because maybe a listener hears what we were dealing with and how we dealt with it, and it might resonate with them, and it might help them to see, that happens with me as well. So generally speaking, home for the holidays, really awesome time. Lots of lots of family, Marcel and I, and if you've been listening to us for a while, you know that my family, like most families, are complicated. There was, a year ago, we went through the Cynthia and Reconnection tour with the family, and a lot of apologies and a lot of getting together after 30 years of disconnection, and so we've been, having good times, having family vacations and doing stuff. Now, in between the time that now and the time that we first connected, there have been moments where, and we've covered this also in previous episodes, where my parents have, where stuff's come up and memories of the past have come up, and I've had to dig into my little bag of miracles and pull one out and breathe deep and refocus and all that good stuff. So, it's never perfect. We are human beings. We're all flawed. There are times where, I've felt a certain way, or maybe I fed into something or whatever. But so the holidays happen, and unbeknownst to me, Marcel went in to talk to my parents and asked them for permission to marry me. Woohoo! Clap! Yay! Really cool. After 4 years, that should be like the best time ever. Not in this family. So, can it be that simple? No, never. Anyway, so, and I shouldn't even know this. By the way, the fact that I know this should be a clue that something went wrong, because it's supposed to be a surprise. But Marcel had conversation with my parents. My parents heard through their listening ears, right? What they wanted to hear, take from it. I don't know. Marcel, I think, was trying to explain to them that we have waited this long because we wanted to work on ourselves. We wanted to set ourselves up for the best possible outcome, to make sure that this was something that we wanted. We're not 20 years old anymore, right?
Right.
And so, normally you would hear, oh, wow, this is great. They're going to get engaged in 2021. That's amazing. And apparently what they heard was, Cynthia's broken. He's not going to marry her. She's a mess. She's broken. To some degree there.
I think a better backdrop is this. So I have learned from past experiences with you that I don't talk about you.
Yeah.
And so now I have full-fledged to talk about myself, because many times throughout this, what do you call it, Cynthia and Reconnection tour?
Yes.
I have been an outsider there supporting you.
Yeah.
Getting back with your family. And I'm really not a part of it. I'm kind of with you.
Yeah.
And so unbeknownst to me, because really whenever I met with your parents, I was trying to be respectful, traditional, get their blessing, and really to say, hey, I love your daughter, and I was looking for your blessing, and out of respect ask, could I have your blessing? And they said, oh, yeah, we have considered you. And I said, okay. But then I wanted to tell them why it's taking so long.
Because they love you crazy. They absolutely adore him.
I said, look, I have issues, okay? I've been married a few times, and I just don't want another failed marriage.
Right.
And I've been working on myself. And Cynthia, she had some issues. She had anger in her, and I didn't want to be with someone with anger. And so, but she worked all that out. She worked out her anger right in front of me. I worked out my issues about why I failed or whatever, and got over my fear of failing again. And okay, we go to Christmas. Next thing you know, I'm in my office. I get a phone call that.
Oh, we had a wonderful time.
We had a wonderful
best
time.
Family. I produced a family book, a Cynthia family book.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons. It's so ironic. I spent a year creating a history of our family, full of love, beautiful pictures, just like the sweetest thing ever. But I'm a bitter baddie, apparently.
Well, so that went down the tradition of most cultures. It's respectful to approach the parents, because really, from my selfish point of view, I'm saying, I'm asking to be a member of your family. Do I have your blessing? And the way I'm going to become a member is with your daughter.
Right.
And so,
and everybody knows or hopes that this is going to happen, right? And so we come home and they keep asking me. My family's been asking me, when's it going to happen? Everybody wants Marcel to be a member of the family. I guess
in the back of their mind, they're wondering why. Because
of course, Marcel's not proposing because he's so perfect and wonderful in their mind, right? He's not proposing because I apparently am broken. Okay, so let's fast forward because we don't want to get into all the details.
Well, long story.
There's a phone call afterwards. We come home. We think everything is great. Marcel gets a phone call.
So
No. Back it up. I get a phone call.
There you go.
I get a phone call. So my mother is asking me, so do you think Marcel's going to propose? Did he propose? Is going to propose? And I'm like, no, I don't know. He's going to do it. Whatever. I don't want to get into too much minutia here, but it ended with me saying, I'm sure it's going to happen. We love each other. Whatever. Then, unbeknownst to me, Marcel gets a phone call from my parents, and let's make this really short.
Yes,
move it forward because we want to get into the parts. So, just long story short, what the audience needs to know is they call Marcel, and then he receives information that basically says, we support you with Cynthia going to therapy
because she's still angry. Is what they...
And then they proceed to talk about things in my past that are false. They're saying all kinds of things that basically support the belief as to why I need to be fixed. Marcel...
Well, if I'm in your shoes, so you're focused more on Marcel than me. Because I'm fine in their eyes, but you're the broken
you're perfect.
one.
Yeah, you're perfect.
That's why I've been waiting for you to heal and miraculously fix yourself so that you're worthy of wonderful me. And know that's not my point of view.
So then Marcel comes over. We're going to have dinner, and it's New Year's Eve. He tells me this happens, and I, of course, I'm so happy and pleased. No, what I say to Marcel is, pour me a scotch, sit down, dial their number. So he tells me the whole conversation. He dials their number. And in case anybody is new to this, I am a woman. And by the way, I'm not perpetuating. This is comedy. In also add to that the fact that I am ethnically Cuban. I am Middle Eastern, so I'm hot-blooded, which is one of the things that makes my boyfriend very much in love with me. He loves my... Yes? Say it.
Absolutely.
Thank you. We joke about it all the time.
Fiery. You're very fiery. You're not hot.
To the point where sometimes he gets me there on purpose,
you're
I think.
a blazing inferno. Okay.
He loves my spice. But, I've got a little spice, and I know that. I know where my crazy button is located, and I can, lock it down and pull it out, and, and it's okay. But I tell Marcel to dial their number. We put them on speakerphone, and I confront them with the things that they are saying. And they proceed to backpedal furiously and not really... cop to everything they said, and I call my parents, to some of it. And then, anyway, I was really irritated. We end the conversation with, okay, we're okay. We love you. We love each other. We're all very happy. Do you understand that Marcel wants to marry? Marcel gets on the phone and says, I want to marry your daughter. There's nothing wrong with her. She is wonderful. I love her. We are great. We are happy. We are fantastic. Okay? That's really important. Hang up. So then Marcel and I have a conversation because there's a lot of energy here. We end up bickering over this. So the next morning, we make up. We're all good. Then I said, I'm going to call my brother and I'm going to tell him about this because I want him to know that this happened because I'm sure they're going to call him and tell him something. Mm-hmm. So I called him and told him. And then apparently the next day there must be a conversation because my brother then calls Marcel and suggest that I should go into therapy. I don't even know.
Well, what I did was I said, when did you talk to her? He said last night. And I thought that was the conclusion. And I said, you walked away from that conversation thinking she needs therapy.
Because I hung up with my brother. I told him, we are in love. I'm calling to vent. I'm just calling to tell you what happened so that you know. I'm venting because I'm irritated that this happened. Marcel and I are great. We love each other. We're really excited for the future. And again, my brother also hears Cynthia's messed up and needs therapy. And so
then I realized my eyes opened wide. I became fully aware that I am now in this family. And I thought, okay, how am I
welcome to my hell.
so then I'm thinking, okay, he says, so I'd let your brother know that we're good. And that the whole premise came from, I think that they took from my conversation, because I spoke a little too much. I should have just said, hey, if you like me enough and I
to join your family,
I'm asking your blessing for your daughters. Yeah. Okay, good. Go. Or let's go out here and open presents or whatever.
Yeah.
So I didn't. I said, here's why it's taken a while. We were working out our issues.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure that we were in a good place.
Apparently was sunk into.
Yeah.
And so, and this is the whole idea from the onset of this particular podcast is
more.
The mess, the drama. Yeah. So.
And then on your side,
well, hold on. Let's kind of wrap up on your side.
Okay, sure.
So, with your brother.
Yeah.
I realized what I had, because he's like, oh, I got to call my mother. I'm going to fix this. And I could not get a word. And I finally raised my voice and said, please, if you and I are going to have a bonding moment, it's really the first time I've really spoken to your brother.
Yeah, alone, yeah.
I said, if we're going to have a bonding relationship here, and this is the beginning, don't say a word. Here's why. We already and this is the point of this. You and I got together, decided we're twin flames, a unified front on how we're going to deal with everyone, including your parents.
Yeah.
So if I get a phone call from your parents.
Okay. Oversharing now.
Yeah. Okay. Oversharing. So anyway, we worked out a plan on how to deal with it.
Yeah.
And going forward, you and I became better, and we know what's going on over here. We can't change people.
Yeah.
We know how to deal with it. We know how we plan to deal with it.
Yeah.
If it comes up again, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
But during this process, the things we drew upon,
there was a lot of spinning. There was a lot of emotion,
we didn't
a lot
want
of
the
spinning.
drama, which we were saying we would rather have peace instead of all this drama. And we're not upset for these reasons. I was really upset that I let all this happen because I wasn't impeccable with my words. I spoke too much. So now the lesson to me was that's really why I was upset. Yeah. I kind of got the ball rolling because I spoke too much. And
I was upset because my understanding was that my family, my parents and I had aired out all of our stuff and that we were in a good place.
Yes.
That we were in a really, really good place. Why are you bringing up stuff and why are you talking to my boyfriend about stuff that happened when I was 17 years old and making stuff up that isn't even real?
Why you're messed up. Yeah, which was all water under the bridge, gone.
Yeah. So it was just a lot of noise. But I think that one of the reasons why we're saying all this stuff is that what I'm really proud for us as a couple and individually, even though it was a little messy in the way that we, handled it, we stayed in communication with each other the entire time.
And we walked away with no change in how we felt about anybody.
No, I love,
and that's the
I love my parents. I love my brother.
Parents.
I adore my brother. He's my best friend.
Let me tell you, your
but
parents
we fight with people we love.
To me, they're awesome. I look up to, and so that was the thing. All this stuff, we walked away unscathed.
Yeah.
And our minds and hearts are probably even better.
Yeah.
And we're closer.
We are closer.
Because we had a challenge here from within. And it's like it was a test, but what's paramount.
But what was happening also at the same time that it's really important to understand is that Marcel was also going through stuff at the same time. Sure. So this wasn't happening in a bubble. Right. He was going through stuff with his family at the same time that was irritating him. So it's important for the audience to understand that there are emotions. There's fear, there's anger, there's, whatever else is in there. But it's just swirling around us. And I said to Marcel, and we're gonna go on break because we want to talk about the bag of tricks and all that good stuff because we're kind of going there. But I said to him, we're on the couch, and I said, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of like a DC comic like movie or something. And I was just talking to our producer Jesse, and he's like, yeah, like Wonder Woman. I said, give me a superhero. He's like, Wonder Woman. I said, yeah, there's a movie coming out. I said, you know, like how they train when they're young and they're little, like Diana is training on the island with all the super girls and all the super, mothers and aunties and all that. And they're training and they're whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And they're training and they're talking and they're doing all this stuff and all this stuff's going on. And then they grow up and they get their superhuman outfit. They get their superhero outfit. They get their cape. She gets her band. She gets her utility belt with her rope and all this stuff. And then they go and she goes into battle, right? She becomes Wonder Woman and she goes out. Then there's a bad guy. It's very rare where there's like one bad guy. The bad guy has like a whole entourage of bad guy gang members, right? And then there's like that big battle scene, right? Where they're coming through the window and they're coming from the left and they're coming from the ocean and they're coming from all parts, and Wonder Woman is there and she's fighting this one from the left and this one from the right, and she's got all this like muscle memory and she's got all these tools and there's all this stuff that's going on. And there's even that scene where she's all beat up and she's down and you think she's gonna die, like this is the end of Wonder Woman, she's gonna die right here, she's dying, oh my god, they're gonna get her, she's gonna kill her. And then all of a sudden, boosh, she comes out and she bursts out and she just kicks all the bad guy butt and she wins. And then in the next scene you see her wearing her like what's her human persona, and she's walking and you see her face, she's got her glasses on, she's wearing her short skirt, and she's gonna fight again and she's all good, she doesn't even have a scratch, she's all hot,
exactly,
right? So that's kind of
so we had like we emerged as superheroes, right?
But isn't that the way we live our human lives all the time? It's not all the time. Like you have a moment, like you have your calendar and you've got an event that's going to happen at 9 o'clock. You go into work and there's like your 9 o'clock meeting, your 11 o'clock meeting, your 12 o'clock meeting. Your whole day is set. Literally by 10 o'clock, your day is a mess, right? Yes. And everything's coming at you, right?
Right.
And at the end of the day, you feel like a superhuman, like, wow, I got lots of stuff done anyway. Or you feel like totally like your butt got kicked. And then you go home and then, you've got family stuff to deal with. But the point is that it's not neat. It happens all the time.
That's correct. And so at the end of the day, through all this stuff that happened, we maintained our peace. It was disrupted for a moment because we allowed it to be, but we regained it and we were stronger. But also there's no change in how we feel about your family. In fact, in a way, we love them even more. Correct.
So let's go to break with way too much. That was supposed to be a 15-minute intro. Sorry, guys. But as you can see, it's never neat. So we're gonna go on break. We're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about our bag of tools, yes, our tricks, the things that we employ, the lessons, the courses and miracles that bring us into handling the mess.
Thanks for listening. If you're enjoying this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please subscribe and tell your friends. For more tips and ways to dig deep and get real, sign up for our newsletter, read blogs, and shop our merch at fightthegoodfightclub.com.
Everybody, welcome back. And we're here with Marcel and Cynthia, Fight the Good Fight Club. And our first segment, we talked about a bit of a mess that we found
how to cope and deal with drama.
Yeah, this episode entirely is how to cope and deal with drama when it comes from all different directions. So in the first part, we laid the groundwork of all the stuff that happened. And now we'd like to talk about the bag of tricks. Marcel?
So I guess whenever there's work in a relationship, typically from my personal experience, it was my issues in the spotlight. The other one had no issues, and I couldn't even face my own issues because I was defending myself too much, but the other person's issues never were brought to the light. So now for me, the real work in a relationship is on ourselves. So during that whole episode of what went wrong when I was trying to, keep a tradition and be respectful to your family and regarding you, when all this blew up, I could have said, your family is crazy, man. I'm not so sure about us, whatever. But what did I want? I want a relationship for the rest of my life. I've tried it a couple of times. It didn't work out, but I determined, hey, that's what I really want. I don't want to be alone. I want to be with someone.
And we love them. They're actually really a lot of fun.
So going back to what you said, the tools, the skills, the bag of tricks or whatever, and this is one of the reasons why I love A Course in Miracles, is I step back and what am I feeling here? I realized trying to figure out what probably happened, but what do we really want? We want peace. Do we want peace? We don't want to promulgate drama.
Yeah.
And so I talked to you about it, and even at the end of the day, so the things that I focused on was begin with the end in mind. I want to maintain my peace. That's all I want to maintain. This other information that came in, whatever it was, I let it disrupt it. I'm going to still my mind and figure out what's going on. And the lessons that came to my mind, were, I could see peace instead of this. I don't want this. I want peace. How do I get peace? The other ones, I'm never upset for the reason I think. And I don't know if I mentioned to you, what I was upset about was we had talked about me kind of being careful about talking alone with your parents about you. And so I did it again. So I was upset that I completely forgot that I said I wouldn't do it again, and I did it again. But now we know it won't happen again. So that was why I was really upset, because if I didn't do that, that probably wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It wouldn't have happened if I would have. Anyway, so that's I never mentioned that to you. That was one of the real reasons why.
I think what's important with that part of it, I think one of the things that's important to realize is it doesn't we don't want to make my parents wrong.
No, they're not wrong at all.
We don't want to make them wrong.
No.
We don't want to make ourselves right.
No.
I think what's really important and what we were talking about, and it's part of my forgiveness work, right?
Absolutely.
With them, it's like, because in the past before this, I would have been furious and I would have said, see what they do?
Yep.
I can't have a relationship with these people because they're just not, and it would have just been. But when I did my forgiveness work, I did it in earnest. And the reality is that for me, I had to look at, first of all, I look at circumstances at face value in that moment.
Yeah.
You can't spend your life, having a scorecard. This adds to this, adds to this, adds to this, reaching into a bunch of stuff. In my constant practice of forgiveness, for myself, for the people around me, one of the things that I do is that I, realize that this is an isolated moment. I know that there's history here, but what is it that I want? What do I want to achieve? Is this really that horrible situation? No, what it did is that it caused an uncomfortable moment for me. Do I know that we can move forward from this? Do I love my parents? Do they love me? Are they any different than they've ever been? They're not.
To the contrary, we had talked about this. Let's step in their shoes. Mm-hmm. They want us to be together. They were so concerned. Yeah. They thought, well, let's help them out. Let's get them to therapy and see if they can work things out.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to them, I told them we had already worked things out. but I guess they really, and they have past too that, I'm sure they're not doing this work.
No.
They're in their 80s. Who wants to change in their 80s and figure this crap out?
Yeah.
Right. So the takeaway was they were really looking out for our well-being.
They were.
Really think about it.
Yes.
The irony of it all, right? It's how we perceived it, right?
Right.
So, but we cleared it up really in an instant. Because what did we want? We want peace is what we want.
Well, also, for me, there really was a moment after I got really angry and moved beyond the anger.
Sure.
What I realized was that I really know myself, right?
Yes, you do.
I know that I don't need any, I'm a human being. I'm going to make mistakes, right?
Yeah.
But you and I are good. Right? We love each other. We talk, we converse, we have our fights, we have our makeups, our disagreements, whatever. And you would not have been walking in there asking for my hand in marriage if you weren't ready to share a life with me. And I know I'm ready to share a life with you. So this is really about us. It's not about them.
No.
It's about us.
And quite honestly, they were making it about us too. If you really think about it,
Sure.
they were trying to help in their own way.
Exactly.
So really, the truth be told, who created the drama, us or them?
Oh, you created it.
Okay. So, all right. I will accept that. I created it. And so what did I say?
Actually, no. I created it because I'm nuts.
You couldn't resist another tasty
Oh,
snack,
my Lord. Listen,
of drama.
The reality is that people are going to be who they are. And the only person that I can control is me. The only person you can control is you, your actions, my actions. And in having this conversation, and even with my brother, he can think whatever he wants to think. His heart's in the right place. He loves you. He loves me. He wants us to be together. But, sometimes people just need somebody to blame. And does it matter? Does it matter? Honestly,
No.
because I could write 35 emails. I could argue till I'm blue in the face. At the end of the day, you know what the reality is? They're still going to think what they're going to think. And I'll tell you what, a year from now, we're probably, because we're about to, at some point, hopefully this will be a surprise, because that was supposed to be a surprise, but I shouldn't even know about it. But at some point, Marcel's going to propose, hopefully, because that was the whole point. And then we're going to go into planning a wedding. People, let me explain to you that we're going to have episodes till the end of times, because there are going to be moments where my mother's going to do something. My sister-in-law, God love her. By the way, she's an angel and I love her more than anything. She's going to say something. I'm going to say something. It's emotional. Where this is how we started the episode. Wherever there are a bunch of people together trying to create something, there's going to be stuff that goes down.
So there's a saying, when two or more are gathered in my presence, there I am. Well, when two or more humans are gathered, there's going to be drama. I mean, that's a fact. And so,
right. But, my mother's going to have ideas about the table settings, about you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to have to. So the bottom line is that I know that stuff's going to happen again, but I also know who I am, and I know that they want the best for me.
That's it.
And we love each other.
Yeah. So I'm not glad all that happened, but it's proof positive that trying to work hard on ourselves, sharing it with, remember, I'm not going to work on, quote, your issues, because, hey, who am I to say what your issues are?
Correct.
Right? And vice versa.
Yeah.
I'm going to work on my stuff and try my best not to dump and blame you or anyone else for my past.
Yeah.
Because it's all on me.
Yeah.
It's all on you.
And I'm going to work on
clean it up. Yep.
How I get upset about it.
And what did I say to you this morning?
What?
I'm sorry for dumping my SHIT on you.
Yeah.
And
I
what'd
said,
you say?
and I said, I'm sorry.
Because
I
we
did the same.
ended up doing it through all this. But when we backed up, everybody had the highest of intentions. What is that saying? The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Damn,
I had good intentions.
Yeah.
Your parents had good intentions.
That's
your brother
right.
had good intentions.
Everybody had good intentions.
But we didn't quell anything. We resolved it. We stilled our minds.
We saw it for what it was.
Our spirits
it is what
came
it is.
out. Their spirits were out. Their hearts were out. They want to see you happy. They want me to be a part of your family, and really they were all good intentions. Yeah. But we have the ability to create drama out of it, which shamefully we did.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I had our part.
For sure.
So,
for
and
sure.
so this whole show was about me and you recording our personal.
Yeah.
And working that out.
Our journey.
And here I feel really good about, and I in a way I love your parents more.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun year.
Well, they really.
Well,
they
after you
care
propose
and love it.
He's gonna propose. Okay, go ahead. Well, I still have to say yes too.
Well, I have to read. One of my vows is, are you sure you want me to aggravate you the rest of your life?
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's that. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm testing the waters here to make sure, because that's what's going to happen.
Oh, and you will make good on that vow.
Yeah. And then yours are, I'm prepared to have you piss me off the rest of my life.
Yes.
Okay.
And you're going to love it. Dang it.
But really, all that really was, to me, that premarital counseling. That really was, when you think about it, because you and I are a unified front. We're twin flames, and we made a decision to handle things. And if I've got something coming on me, if I'm dumping on you, hey, don't dump your shit in our. Excuse me.
It's okay.
And on me.
This is a podcast.
That's your crap. I will help you work through it, but don't dump it on me, and don't blame anybody from your past.
Yeah.
You've got it. Are they here? They're not here. So how can it be their fault?
Yeah.
It's how you processed it that's troubling you, not that person, right? It's processing it, what's in us. And during this time, though, I did develop a horrendous pain in my chest. Remember I told you? I said, Cynthia, there is a horrible pain. I have got to get rid of this. And we kept talking. And I said, okay, it's slipping. No, wait, it's back. And I was using the pain in my chest as a barometer, as if we were on the right page, a right path or whatever.
Oh my
God. And it really was.
Because we were arguing, and it got to the point where we were talking about the episode, and we were arguing about the episode. And you looked at me, you're like, I don't want to do this. And I'm like, oh my God, we're going to break up.
No. I can tell you what happened. A Cuban missile launched out of your spine, and freaking smoke was coming out of your ears.
Well, because you don't listen. You have to listen. Okay. But this is true. This is, actually, yes.
I do not listen sometimes.
Yeah. Well, and I have to make my point.
Let's focus on what. 1 out of 100 times I listen. Let's focus on that one time, okay? Just the once, okay?
Absolutely. But I think that as we sat and sort of processed and went over what was going on and what was happening, and we kind of looked at each other, and what I'm most proud of is that we communicated the entire time, even when we were really upset with each other. And just saying it, and we still stuck in it, and we were honest with each other. We took a second. There was a moment where you're like, I need to take a break. I'm going to go in another room. And it's like, okay, so go in the other room.
And this may seem like I'm trying to take credit, but I was really lost. I felt off. I thought, geez, I have felt this before. This sucks. So what did I say? I suck at communication. I don't feel connected to you, and I don't like it. Mm-hmm. I don't want this. And that was the pain in my chest. I knew I wasn't communicating what was going on because I didn't even know what was going on. And then I did not feel connected to you. Yeah. And it wasn't you. Yeah. It was me. Yeah. And I said, I want to get rid of it. And we worked through it. But I think in my past, I would have went to work, gotten really productive at work because I'd have worked it off, man. Hell yeah. It's really productive. But I'm not addressing the real issue. Yeah. I'm channeling that pain in my chest into something positive. And that's what I used to tell myself. I'm going to take the negative and convert it into positive. And that's what I always did. But I just want to have...
But you would do that by yourself.
By myself, which is not with someone.
That's right.
So the premise was, I don't like this feeling because it's separating us and it's unconnecting us, right? Yeah. And it's not you. I'm blocking it with whatever's in me. Yeah. And I think we worked through the whole thing. And I remember saying, you know what? I love your parents even more now. Yeah. Because really, they were looking out for us in their own way.
Absolutely.
And we could have added and turned it any way we wanted. Oh, look, they're bringing. But you know what? They want us to be healthy. Yeah. And to be together. Yes. You know?
Yeah.
So,
and my brother,
your brother too.
Yeah, they all met
in
well.
fact, absolutely. So there's really no...
Maybe they were warning you. Maybe they love you so much they were warning you.
They're probably laughing. Let's see if he still wants to propose. Let's see how tough he is.
Did you hear that? Did you hear the subliminal run? There's still time, Marcel.
I really do think that was like a hazing test for your family. Let's see, if he can't handle this, oh my God. Well, we've already stuffed pork down his nose, his mouth, his ears, his eye. He didn't die because he said he was a vegetarian. We made him cut the pig on Christmas.
Yes.
Oh, he survived. And your sister couldn't even handle it. Oh my God, Marcel, I see why you're a vegetarian.
Oh God, the drama. Oh my goodness, the drama. But my nephew and Marcel my mother ordered a small pig, with the head and the tail, and it's a cute thing.
Say the real word. It was a baby.
It was a baby pig. It was delicious. Oh my
baby.
God, it was so good.
Oh
Eat it.
my God.
So I took a picture. I said, "Oh, new family tradition." And my just shy of 3-year-old nephew grabbed one ear. Marcel grabbed the other one. They ate it. We're like, woohoo! It's like, we're so barbaric. It's like, listen, we're carnivores. We are
barbaric.
We're not barbaric. We're a little uncivilized.
Cynthia stuck her two fingers in that pig's nose, took it, and was chewing on it.
That's so disgusting. See, that's barbaric. That's why you got to go there. We're a little uncivilized. We're not barbaric.
You didn't do it. So at the end of the day, this is what I want. I want to feel good. I want to laugh, and no matter what comes our way.
We did a conga line. We had so much fun. Oh my gosh. That entire day was amazing. We drank scotch and smoked cigars with my dad, my mom. We laughed. We had an amazing holiday. We really did. Until you had to go in there and ask for my hand in marriage. What's the matter with you?
Talk about turning sugar into the sourest lemonade you could, the sourest lemon.
Oh my gosh.
No, but really, it's where was the control in me and you? We had the control over how we were processing and adding meaning to and that's another lesson. Whatever meaning anything has is the meaning I give it.
To it.
The whole thing, we could have given it a dramatic meaning, what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
What were they really trying to do? I believe their intention was for us to be healthy together.
Yeah. And I had to practice my forgiveness. I really did. I literally.
It was another test. Yep.
Another test.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not. And you asked me, are you going to call your brother? I said, no, I'm not going to send text. I'm not going to call anybody because I'm good. I know who I am. Yeah.
So that really kind of was. So now I feel that I am no longer an outsider. Officially, I'll be there.
Yeah, you're officially
But now I'm in, right? I'm in. I'm like, okay, this has been your view you've been telling me about. I'm like, wow, I have a whole new respect for you and how you're able to be happy.
Oh my God.
And what you do to be happy. Isn't
that the irony? The irony, the funniest thing is that they're so wrapped up in this belief that I'm an angry person. And you're like, she's like the happiest person I know.
But that's okay. That's okay because we know their intentions are good. Okay. Yeah. And it's not like they did something bad. They were just being themselves. And it's how you and I handle and interpret how they're being, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but there's one thing for certain. There's love everywhere.
There is love all over.
Question in my mind.
Yeah.
And there's no other reason but love. That's what I see.
I love that. And on that note, I think that we will take our last break, and when we come back, we'll wrap up this crazy pretty mess and give you all some takeaways on what we think that this episode means, kind of. We'll be right back.
Thanks for listening. If you're enjoying this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please subscribe and tell your friends. For more tips and ways to dig deep and get real, sign up for our newsletter, read blogs, and shop our merch at fightthegoodfightclub.com.
And we're back with our episode on how to use Course in Miracles and the lessons that we've learned to help manage multiple amounts of mess and drama, because sometimes it's not so easy and it's not so neat and clean. And, this is a good time for me to remind, we're not therapists. We are just two people fighting the good fight. And we want to share how we fight the good fight with people in hopes that they might be able to find a nugget or two that might help them manage their, life, their peace.
Their peace. So the whole idea of this whole podcast was really about finding peace within. How do you do that? You still your mind and you free your spirit, and then you're at peace. Our natural state of being is what the belief here is. And so Fight the Good Fight Club is figuring out what the fight in you is and how to deal with it. And so 2 years now, I have gone through the Course in Miracles lessons, 2 years faithfully, 2 years in a row. And now I've already started. This is the third day of January 2021. I'm on the third lesson, and I was sharing it with you this morning. things I missed, and it's really coming through. So when we were discussing this show, on what it was going to be about, you said, how about kind of like a special episode, a graduate episode to kind of apply the other episodes. And I was thinking about what I did here, and it wasn't easy. If I had not done those 2 years work, I think the whole scene, there's a good chance that we may not even be together. Do you realize that?
I do.
And but I wanted to work within myself. So the lessons that came up were, I may have mentioned them. I want peace more than anything. And if I'm going to be with somebody, I want to maintain that peace within myself. Okay. And hopefully the other person wants peace and they want to maintain theirs. We're going to help each other maintain each other's peace so I can emanate happiness from me and not put my happiness on you. You need to entertain me. You need to make me happy.
Dance, girl, dance.
You are my happiness. So I'm not happy and it's your fault. But that's what I have been in those relationships. And let me tell you, if someone's unhappy because of money, I've seen people marry for money, and guess how long that usually lasts? Not real long. Because really, to me, the real reason to marry is for love. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so
and can I add something to that? What I realized also is that in past relationships, I was doing me, they were doing them, and then we would come together occasionally.
Yeah.
What I realized, and what I'm realizing more and more and more as we're going through this, and interestingly enough, that I said to you about my brother and his wife, and my mother and my father, what is in common about them is that they are a team. They are a united front. They are, even no matter what is going on, everything that they do, even if they don't agree, they present always as a united front.
You know, that reminds me of? Remember the Bundys?
Yeah.
They would dog each other up. But you attack one, oh my God.
They were coming for you.
The four of them would come together.
United front.
And united front. You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. Hey, we can tear each other apart, but you can't.
That's right. And that's what I'm realizing through this that is so profound for me.
Yeah.
And we had talked about this a little bit as well when we were kind of, making up. Yeah. We said, man, this is the first time in our lives that we feel like we're part of a united team. Like that we're a part of a team. That's a relationship.
And then because you have done your inner work on yourself. So the toughest job in the world is personal growth. Mm-hmm. It's hard to face yourself inside, but the biggest challenge is figuring out what to face, what is really going on in there. And even at this stage, I told you I had that pain in my chest. I couldn't identify it, so we kept talking and talking and talking. I went with my feeling, I don't feel connected to you. I was, in a way, kind of blaming you. And I'm like, I'm not at peace. What is this? And we kept talking and talking. And we knew it had related to what was going on. But in reality, the other lesson was, I have given all the meaning this has. That's it. All the meaning this has, I have given it. So what am I going to give this meaning? Drama? And is that so? No. Okay. My peace isn't here. What am I going to do? Still my mind. What's really going on here? And when we peeled it back, put ourselves in their shoes and whatnot, we figured out, hey, it was all good intentions, right? So we can make a mountain out of a molehill and sidetrack us, so we got steered off course, but really we're back on course, and we're probably stronger on the course than ever before. So that's one of the biggest lessons there. The other one was this duality of mind that we can choose to go with the drama or choose to go with the peace. That's what's in our minds, either peace or drama. I often joke and say, there's a story where there was happiness, and Adam was told, don't bite that apple because you're going to know good and evil. Well, what is evil? It's the dark side, it's negative, whatever. So now I'm trying to unbite the apple, and how you unbite that, you let go of that other side and focus on the peace. Peace is before we knew full knowledge of evil. It's less evil, more peace. And that could have been drama, evil, whatever. So that to me is what this course has done, is being able to address something and go, okay, I can see peace instead of this. The other big one, if I defend myself, I am attacked. Okay. For a moment, you were attacked because you started defending yourself, right?
Yeah.
Based on what your mother had said that I
Yes.
told you, because
Yes.
you turned me upside down and shake me and get everything out of me that was said, because I can't hold anything back, because if I do, I'm lying to you and I'm not being honest.
Tell me.
What did she say? What did she say?
Shut up.
So now you're being attacked, 'cause it's like, but we talked. See, I'm so happy you're laughing because it's true.
Yeah.
Someone can attack us, but we're not attacked unless we defend.
That's right.
Hey, there's no defense. She's just being who she is.
That's right.
She's not attacking me.
Well, I knew what she was saying wasn't true, and it didn't make
she's not
sense to me. It's like, why do I need to defend myself a bit? I don't need to defend this.
Yeah, I want you to be happy.
Yeah.
If you see me as unhappy, I can't see through your lens, but Mom, I'm happy or whatever, But
Yeah.
that's a huge one.
Yeah.
Step back, because when we get defensive, what do we defend? We're actually defending what they're saying.
Yeah.
It must be true, though. Why are you so defensive?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Nah, I'm fine, Mom. It's okay. No,
Yeah.
hey, appreciate. Hey, if we ever need it, we'll call you.
Yeah.
Hey. That's huge. But you know how far along we've come
Oh, so far.
in 2 years?
Yeah, so far.
Okay.
Oh yeah, 2 years I wouldn't be here. 2 years I wouldn't have made it to this course because I'd be home writing emails and making phone calls.
And I've seen so many people. You didn't get rid of them; they exited your life.
Yeah.
Because you have become a light. You're no longer. Not that you were had dramatic relationships.
No. Well,
but.
yeah. Well, I was attracting toxicity.
But you decide, you know what? I don't want that. I want to be more of a light than darkness.
Yeah.
So now that you're more light, what is darkness? Light moves darkness away. And as you become more enlightened and more peaceful and want more love, and you develop that and spread that throughout your life, stuff like this that came up is easily handled.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we experienced a little bit, but that was our real first challenge together. When you think before, I was
together,
I was supporting you.
Yes.
Now I'm in the thick
well, yeah,
of it.
you were doing you.
Yeah.
I was doing me.
Yes.
Yeah, we'd come together.
Yeah.
Now this is actually. We are now at this place where we are a team. We're planning a life together.
So we talk about Don Miguel Ruiz, the 4 agreements, be impeccable with your word. So we agreed we could change that. What is it called? Not poetic justice, but something right, producer's right, or whatever. You can change something, ad lib something. So instead of saying be impeccable with your word, be impeccable with as few words as possible.
Definitely,
right?
yeah.
Well, and I should have just said, hey, I want to join the craziness. Come on in.
Oh my gosh. That's
but
hilarious.
at any rate, at the end of the day, what could have been a big mess that you and I could have either broken us up or held grudges and say, you know what, it's not over.
Yeah.
We didn't perpetuate it.
No.
We didn't fight it, defend it. We didn't get defensive.
Yeah.
It was painful for a moment.
Yeah.
But with these skills and these tools, these bag of tricks, as you call them, that's taken us and in fact, it hasn't taken us a couple years. It took you 20 years of knowledge. It took me it's just this course a couple years. But I've been trying to find happiness because of stuff too from the past. Remember from the beginning, trying to get rid of stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's very important.
We don't even talk about it anymore because we've let it go.
Yeah, I mean, it's very important to realize that you're a victim if you want to be a victim.
And in truth, now I feel presentable to your family within myself. That's the irony. I felt presentable to them because I wasn't afraid of failing again.
Yeah.
And it turned out that you're not even presentable.
Shut up. All right.
In fact.
Last thought with the last few seconds.
So the last thought is, do you want peace of mind? How do you achieve it? Anytime you feel discomfort, ask yourself what's going on here. And don't blame others. Don't be a victim.
And keep fighting the good fight.
Keep fighting the good fight, which is within. And so still your mind, free your spirit, have peace of mind.
Exactly.
Fight the good fight.
Keep fighting it. And on that note, we'll see you on our next episode. We'll have more shenanigans, I'm sure. Peace with everybody. We wish you peace.
Health, happiness, prosperity in 2021. Namaste.
Lots of love.
If you enjoy our podcast, we invite you to subscribe to Fight the Good Fight Club on YouTube. hit the notification button and give us a thumbs up. Also, head over to fightthegoodfightclub.com and sign up for the newsletter, read blogs, and more. Thanks for listening.